I've been dreaming about this day, manifesting about this day, saying my affirmation about this day for the past 4 years. In my head, I'm like, please move aside. Like all the while, I knew the seller was a woman. That nonsense strike they put on my credit file, they've taken it off. Thank God. But the only thing I didn't really know was about the roof. OMG guys, so I have an amazing update. Hello lovelies, welcome to my property buying series. If you're new here, my name is Lize Okoh. I am a multidisciplinary artist based in London. And so last week I showed you my house viewings and putting in an offer. And so today I'll be sharing the whole legal process right from when your offer on a property has been accepted all the way to, exchanging contracts, having your completion day when you go and pick up your keys. OMG guys, so I have an amazing update. Okay, so things are moving really fast. On the 18th of June, I made an offer on the property. It was accepted after a bit of just a brief negotiation, and then after that things sort of picked up. I got like a formal letter from the head of the agency, and then I also informed my mortgage broker. I'd found somewhere I'd loved and sent her the link, and then she sort of sent me some solicitors to look at and decide on the solicitors I wanted. And then from the agents as well, they sent me the person who would be working on my property on like the seller's behalf. And so I had lots of documents to read, to agree to terms and all of that from the solicitors. I had to send like proof of my ID, proof of address. And then while all of this was going on, my mortgage broker also then had to put in the official mortgage with the bank. And so previously, when I had initially gotten my mortgage in principle, it was with a particular lender. Their rate was really high, but they were also giving me lots of money. And I think I sort of got carried away. I was like, oh my gosh, I can get all this money. Okay, I can look for like 3-bedroom houses and all of that. And during that, they were still like expensive out of my budget. And from what I've been saying, I just realized people are not really wanting to negotiate too far away from their asking price. So I knew that if I wanted those particular houses, I would have to be going outside of what I wanted my budget to be. Also considering I wanted to make sure my mortgage I'll be paying every month is something I can pay manageably. I don't want to pay so high because there's still bills, there's still living expenses. Anyway, I found this property which happened to be within my budget. Now paid a bit under the asking price. Anyway, I say all of this to say that we finally, so when it was time to put in the actual mortgage application, we decided to go with another bank because this bank, the mortgage rate was actually much better than the other one. And since I no longer need as much money, this new bank weren't giving me as much as the other one. So we're like, okay, I'll go with that one. It just means I'll put a bit more deposit. Thankfully, I have saved a lot of deposit because I knew I just wanted to have a good room that if they say, oh, as a solo buyer and as a self-employed person, doing my research, watching other people's videos, I've just come to understand that when you're a self-employed, they usually want lots of deposit from you. And so because of that, I had saved a good amount. And so yeah, so I'll be putting a bit more deposit in order to match the amounts the other bank is going to be giving me. Anyway, my mortgage broker puts in the application, And she also had, I also have to pay for the valuation immediately upon application. And she was like, usually this takes 3 to 4 days. I'm just sending documents they've asked, which is like your business accounts information. Sometimes they will come for more, they may ask a lot of things. Don't worry, don't stress out if this happens, it's normal, but let's just put the minimum they've asked for and see what happens. And it's usually like, takes 3 to 4 days. So I was like, okay, no worries. She's put the application in, pay the valuation fee, I'm on the queue. And then like an hour, within 2 hours anyway, I was on another meeting call. She calls back, I was like, I've got good news. I was like, oh, what could this be? And she's like, your mortgage has been accepted. I was like, what? The process that usually takes 3 to 4 days, they've come back to me within 2 hours. And according to them, the property, they didn't need to go out to evaluate it. They've done it online. So I don't know what the seller has done on their end, but it seems they've primed themselves to be at a good position. But they did all of this online, and within 2 hours, my mortgage was accepted. So I do have a solid mortgage in place now with a really good, well-known, established bank. The other lender was not someone I had heard about, and I was just like, okay, I don't know them, but they're legit and everything. But this is like a well-known bank. So yeah, so I'm happy about that. The rate is much better, and then the monthly payments I'll be making is comfortable for me. That allows me to still be able to live comfortably, start saving for investments, which is what I want to do next, and be able to have a holiday. I've been depriving myself for the last couple of years, so I can breathe easy and still live a comfortable life. So yeah, so that's the update. I have my mortgage now, things are moving. So now we're in the whole I guess legal process where the solicitors now are having to draw up contracts, and then they'll send it to me to read, and I'll sign stuff. Okay, yeah, so my mortgage broker has also sent me some surveyors. So although the bank has done that valuation, they don't really go deep in. So I have to do my due diligence and pay for a surveyor to go into the property and actually do a proper thorough check. So that's what I'm in the process of doing now. I've gotten two companies, so I'm gonna choose the one I want to go for, get them to do the survey, and then yeah, hopefully the house is okay, everything is all right, no problem. And this is a chain-free purchase as well, so it sounds like I'm really hoping and praying my process is gonna go really fast, go really well, and yeah, everything will just complete in a good turnaround time. So that's what's going on at the moment. And I also have to update you, so many good news. God has been amazing throughout this process. I've just been praying and manifesting. I've just been, God, let your will be done, let all of this align well. I can say crazy Eon, who tried to mess me up. When the devil thinks he's working, my good Lord is working even harder. Not even working harder, he's slapping his hands. Anyway, that nonsense strike they put on my credit file, they've taken it off. Thank God. So my credit score has gone back up. I've got positive news. I've been getting the credit check company sending me news. Oh, your credit score is now great. It's positive news. Come in and check. I haven't even bothered to check because I'm like, yep, I know. So yes, crazy Ian has taken off that nonsense strike off of my account. So yeah, good news. I'm so happy. So if you remember in my last video where I had my viewings talking about how stressful process made up for it, things were moving really fast. Once I had my offer accepted, I let my mortgage broker know. She sent me recommended a solicitor. I sort of vetted them myself as well, did some research, looked at their reviews and went for them. And so once I had all those documents and all those things they wanted me to sign, everything started moving really smoothly. My solicitor was on it, Emma is the plug. If I haven't said this enough, I'm saying it again. Check down her details down in the description, and if you mention my name, you get a discount. So basically, the solicitor, oh, she was fantastic, was like on it, responding to my emails within the hour and things like that. She did her own like sort of financial checks on me, went through like my bank statements, was like, oh, what is this? You transferred this money, came into your savings account, where did it come from? And because I had a savings account, I had like my own bank account where I'll move money. Anyway, I showed her everything went fine. So I'm just mentioning this part here to say, make sure you have your bank accounts in order. Have like a dedicated, I would ideally say a high savings interest account where you're saving money, and have a different one where you have expenses, so that everything is just clear and there's no like issues in trying to verify your proof of funds. Anyway, once that went along, it was time for the search. The search as well usually takes I think it says it can take up to 12 weeks, up to 3 months, depending on your borrower. If your borrower, if they are slow, or if they get to your, case quickly. But mine came back in 3 days. I was just like, oh wow. And usually that's one of the biggest part of the process that takes time. Well, mine came in 3 days. And so my solicitor, again, Molly, sent me all of those land search reports. So I had to take my weekend to like read through them. There was like a land search, environmental search, property search, just basically looking at the area. Has there been flooding? Is there subsidence? Are there any pollution around you? What is the sewage like? What's the water like? All these different things, you're going through it. Even from the seller, she also had to send me things like, when was the last smoke alarm done, CO2 checked, electricity checked, that electricity rating, I've forgotten what it's called now. Hopefully you understand what I mean. Basically, just so many things that has to do with the property. That's why even as a home owner, when you're ready to sell your property, you need to have all of your ducks in a row as well, because the person purchasing from you will be asking all those questions. So anyway, while I was going through reading the whole land search report, making sure I understood things and I was happy to move ahead, Molly also had some questions she wanted to ask the seller. So for example, there's an old fridge in the property. The seller was like, wanted to sell it to me, and I think Molly must have told her like, don't be ridiculous. I mean, I'm not sure I don't think that's what she said, but basically that was taken off like, yeah, I'm not gonna pay for the fridge. The fridge is old. I actually have to even change it now. Anyway, I digress. And so things like what's included in the property, is there a stove, is there, where is the gas meter, where is it situated, just different things. Has there been any works in the property? Did you have the right license for it? There's a conservatory, where are the documents for it? So just make sure when you're also changing and renovating your property, you are also following all the rules, because if you want to sell it on in the future, you would have to answer all those questions. And so because everything was going so fast, I immediately, within a week, I also had to book in a surveyor. So it's good to have your own personal survey done as well, because as I shared, the bank just did an online valuation. So no one actually came into the property to check the standing. They just did an online thing. But if you're buying it, you really need to know what red flags are in that property. And so within that week, I got my surveyor booked in again. Emma was the plug. Literally, this whole process was just so seamless, because I didn't have to do a lot of research, which I usually do. I just had someone who had the networks and the contacts, just like, yeah, here you go. And she would give me like 2-3 different companies, and for me to then, choose the one I want. So anyway, I booked that in, and then when the report from that survey came through, there were lots of red flags, which I knew, like, the flooring is not that great in the property, this needs to be changed, the bathroom. So they were pointing out things I had already seen by myself when I came to view it, and I was fine with, because I knew I wasn't trying to get like a perfect property. I wanted to get a property I would renovate to my style. But the only thing I didn't really know was about the roof. and so the roof had a red flag of some things, and so that really alarmed me. And so I had a call with the surveyor as well, and he explained, he was like, it's not like it's gonna cave in on you right now, but it needs maintenance work. So they've used tapes to like seal some parts instead of, you know, properly maintaining it. So it was like things like that. Maybe in the next 5 to 10 years you will have to get a new roof. And so I was like, okay, so this may be something I can use to renegotiate my buying price. And so I then had to send in a tradesman. I'm sure if you've watched these property videos, you've heard people talk about tradesmen. Tradesmen are the worst. The first one wasted a week saying, oh, it's going to come this day, wouldn't come. I'm going to come this day, wouldn't come. Then he just stopped picking up his calls. So I had to go to Emma again. I was like, Emma, these tradespeople. And she's like, okay, she found someone else. She gave me again. So I reset. And then that dude as well, I think he had a project. Just to cut this whole long story short, he also wasted over a week of my time because he'd be like, okay, I'll go at the end of the week. He didn't go. And then he ended up going a week later. Okay, after that, tell me your, you know, what did you see? Tell me your rate. What would this cost? Because I really needed to understand that cost in order to present it to the seller and be like, hey, we need to renegotiate because this is now costing me a lot. And then the dude was again taking up to 3 days to give me his cost, like his invoice. I'm just thinking, why is it taking this long? You've seen the place, you know. Anyway, the estate agent had to step in because, and again, I have to mention, so Hart was the estate agent who was doing this for the seller, and the person who was in that office, Sana was amazing. Like literally she was on it, like she was the one trying to buy the property. She was just moving things along. She's like, what's going here? Can we get this? She was just pushing it along. So she as well, she was like, okay, give me this tradesman number. I don't understand why he's not giving you the call. And then she called me literally 10 minutes later. I was like, oh yeah, this is the call he's giving. So I was like, why was he not giving it to me then? Anyway, I got that, and then I was like, okay, so now I have the quote. It was like 4,000 something. I'm like, yeah, I want to renegotiate because I'm not gonna pay all of this. And so it was this back and forth now, the seller trying to, you know, obviously doesn't want to like bring her price down, and me being like, yeah, no, like this roof is gonna cost me close to 5,000. I didn't know this. Like when I came to the property, this was not an information I was aware about. If not, I wouldn't have, you know, suggested what I wanted to pay. Anyway, after some back and forth, and so the estate agent was like, oh, the seller needs to talk to her husband and decide if this is something. In my head, I'm like, please move aside. Like all the while I knew the seller was a woman. Like no one had ever mentioned anything about a husband, and now I'm talking about renegotiating. You're bringing up a husband. Who cares? If I'm dealing with the husband directly, I'm still gonna renegotiate that price. And so I'm mentioning this to just see how patriarchy works, right? Where you try to use a man as an authority figure to, like, you know, bully me a bit or threaten me, or like, I'm just like, I don't care. She wants to speak to her husband, she should speak to her husband. We are gonna renegotiate this price. Anyway, in the end, at this point, this was just what was stalling my process because everything literally went fast. And so they were like, oh, she's gonna pay I can't remember, 25% or something. And on the phone I just flippantly said, no, she's gonna pay 35%. And as I said it, I was cringing on the inside. I was like, no, I shouldn't have said that. I should have had a pause, think, and then come back with my counter offer. Because by the time we did a deduction of what 35% is, like my mortgage, my purchase offer is a weird one. So it's like 343. It's like a weird number point, something pence. And that's because we negotiated like the roofing cost for them to pay 35%, and I feel like if I had gone for 50%, they would have agreed. But I think at that point I was just emotionally drained and I was just tired. I was like, look, we can literally complete in a week. Why are we dragging this out? Let's complete. So anyway, although that was annoying at the time, I'm over it. I still got a good price for my property, and yeah. And so a month into the process, everything was pretty much done, all the searches, all the questions, and so it was time for like things to start moving along. And so my solicitor sent me some documents I needed to sign and some that also had to be witnessed. And so yeah, so I called up a friend who had purchased her property as well in the last year or whatever, and yeah, so I went, we had lunch, and we signed the documents. But after that, a crazy thing happened with my solicitor. The annoying thing is, my solicitor went on holiday for 2 weeks, didn't even let me know who will be taking over our case in the meantime. And so the estate agent sort of chased up with the solicitor's firm, and they were like, there's no one else to take over her case. So she advised me to chase up as well, which I did this morning, and I spoke to someone there who was saying there's no one else to take up her case, and because my solicitor doesn't have an assistant, yeah, she would see if she can get to it, but she has her own cases. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can literally complete this week. Why am I going to wait for 2 weeks before my solicitor comes back? It's just unacceptable. Even my mortgage broker is like, it's unacceptable as well. She also has some of her clients with the same solicitor, and is like, nah, she needs to get all of us completed. And so what's going on now is my mortgage broker is just sort of letting the lender know that the purchase price has come down, but I'm still borrowing the same amount of money because I want that difference to be money in my pocket so I can actually use it to repair the roof, which is what it's for. So yeah, I'm just sort of like over everything now. I'm just like, complete already so I can start doing some touches in the property, start moving in slowly. So there's no overlap between when my tenancy where I am right now ends in October to when I move in. The way I've planned this thing since last year was like, I would complete a month before, so that way I can move in, and then it's just like a smooth transition into my property, and there's no running helter-skelter and all of that. So it's still gonna complete on time, to be honest, more than in a month. But yeah, it's like, if I can complete before 2 weeks, why am I gonna wait? It's just like everything is dragging now. The seller wants to move on with her money. I want to move on as well and face other projects I have for the rest of the year, face my business as well. So yeah, I'm just ready for it to be over. I can be happy, I can celebrate, I can pop the champagne. I just got good news. So due to like the rates coming down a bit, my mortgage broker has been able to secure me a new offer. It's not crazy different because the rates hasn't come down that much, but still it saved me like £360 a year, which is sort of a few pounds here and there per month. So I'm not complaining. I'm still happy about that. Today is Monday, the 12th of August, and I'm just going to meet up with a friend who is going to help me witness the signing of my documents. So we did that earlier, but there's another land registry signing to do, and I need a witness signature for that. So yeah, we're close to the end now. So once I get this signed and send it off to my solicitor, yeah, we'll decide on an exchange of contract dates and completion dates, send my big deposit, and then go collect my keys. OMG! I've just made the biggest payment in my life thus far. Send the money to my solicitor, my deposit. So, oh my gosh, I was reading that bank details so many times. Wow. It's all been set in motion. Money gone, contracts signed, done. Just waiting for my completion date now. So we're gonna exchange contracts and complete next Thursday. So yeah, by the 22nd of August, I will officially be a homeowner. Wow! Oh my gosh! Whew. Wow. I've been dreaming about this day, manifesting about this day, saying my affirmation about this day for the past 4 years. And we're here. We are here. Thank God.
Oh, yes, sir. What's up? Turn my headphones up. Yo, check it. Oh, I was chilling at the club with enough chicks. And I saw this fan get bad exit. I say, come on, show me, girl, if you got skills. Then she put her hands up and threw punches. I say, which kind of dance with this azonto? What you they do azonto? Oh, that's nice. I'm trying to figure it. Take me to the next level. Upgrade. It's so crazy. Migraine. Time to learn more to get a high grade. Let's rock the knee.
So altogether, like, this whole process took me 8 weeks. I think it could have taken 6 weeks, but of course, because of the lag of me with the tradesmen, because of the lag of me trying to, so there was also something I was researching about the area around my property because of an outbuilding that was close to my garden. So that took some time, and then just the back and forth. But no, I was so happy with the whole process. Emma, my mortgage broker, made the whole thing seamless with all the contacts, all the advice, support. It went really, really well. So no complaints whatsoever. So usually you can exchange contracts and complete on the same day, but mine didn't go that way because my solicitor went away on holiday, and then someone had to step in for her. And so I remember before she went away, I didn't know, but before she went away, she had asked, "Oh, what day would you like to complete?" And I didn't really want to say a date in sand, because for me, I felt like, well, if you can complete tomorrow, let's complete tomorrow. And so all I was just saying to her is as soon as possible. And I think she sort of saw that as a thing of there was room. And even if that's what she assumed, I don't know why she wouldn't tell me she was going away. So my advice to you, like, if your solicitor asks, even at the start, they had asked me a date and I had given them like around the period I wanted it to be completed by. But if your solicitor asks you, make sure you let her know the exact date. And even if it seems ridiculous, just put that date. If it's something that needs to be moved, then you can talk about it then, rather than she just thinking you're open to it, completing whenever. Oh yes, another thing I was going to say as well is ask your solicitor, are there days you're going to be off on holiday, and who is going to be taking over my case when you're away? Because that was one thing I didn't do, and my mom actually told me to ask her, when are you off for holiday? But then I just felt, oh, is that not being rude or too pushy, or it's going to come off somehow? But nah, do that. Ask them, when are you going to be off on holiday, and when you're off, who is going to take over my case? Because if not for Emma stepping in and contacting the owner of the firm and be like, nah, someone has to be on it, I would have just had to be waiting for 2 weeks to complete. Anyway, completion day was like in June, and then my my exchange date was in why did I say June? My my exchange date was in mid-August, and then a week later I had my completion date, and then yeah. How do you feel?
Feel great. What's the picture?
Go on. Yeah. Yes. They left a rug for me. Woo! I'm in my property. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh my goodness, I'm just looking at everything. And yeah, I just feel like the previous owner just left anything the tenants left and was just too lazy to pack stuff up. Because why have they left the rug? Even the bed, I'm not sure I really want the bed, but maybe it's gonna come in handy until I buy mine. But it definitely needs to be cleaned properly. Okay, I'm happy the wardrobes are there, but so many hangers. I don't know what the hell that is. It looks dirty. Definitely not using it. Not interested in using that at all. This I don't mind. I can use it for my photo shoots actually, so it should come in handy. They've left this. I don't mind. Yeah, this table for the time being, but why is this still all in there? All of this on the wall. Why is this there? And it's so annoying because I think if they had tried to take this off, okay, it does come off easily, so why have they left it? Okay, let's see the other room. This room is totally clear, so that's good. But yeah, definitely a lot of cleaning before I move in, all of that. Definitely lots of work to be done. I'm sort of making notes about things I want to change and stuff. And then, yeah, I'm going to get some tradesmen in next week and start the cleaning renovation process. Not the full renovation, but just to get things up to scratch for me to be able to move in the next 2 months. But yes, those are my stairs. This is my kitchen. This is my mini bar. Woof, woof, woof. So I'm back home now, and I'd like to show you the little gift I got from my estate agent.
Later.
Hey, so I'm currently back at my property. My mom's meeting me here and some tradesman as well who's gonna help me like bring the place up to scratch. And I've just received some of my first packages. So I think my mortgage broker Emma has sent me some goodies. I saw it outside in the property. Yeah, I'm so happy it's here because when she told me she had sent something to this address, I was like, oh, I hope maybe they didn't leave a card or something, but it's here, so let's open it up. Let's see. So here it is. So cool. First time receiving a package in a property that is mine, not rented, not hired, but mine. So here is my hamper, a gift for you. Oh, this feels so good. Let's see. Liz, congrats on your new home. It's been lovely working together. Wishing you many happy memories in your new home. Emma, Okoh Financial Services. Yes, it's been absolutely amazing working with Emma. And I cannot wait to talk about all the different ways she's helped me. So definitely keep on watching these videos. Do subscribe, do like, leave any questions you have down below. I'll be sharing the whole process. Ooh, she knows me well. I've got a sweet tooth, and this is lovely. This is so funny because I actually tend to give this sort of hamper gifts to clients who book me from not on the high street, and I was planning to also get Emma a hamper gift. So we're definitely thinking alike. This is love. Ooh, shortbreads. I'm gonna be spoilt this weekend. I have like a very busy next couple of days. In fact, the whole of my September is gonna be, oh, carrot cake. It's gonna be very busy. So I'm gonna be treating myself to all of this. Thank you so much, Emma. I'm gonna leave Emma's details down below. If you're looking for a mortgage broker, definitely recommend. She's been amazing. So I've just written a personalized card for my mortgage broker who made my process so stress-free. Dear Emma, thank you for handling my property purchase with such care and efficiency. You made the process seamless and stress-free. You are making dreams come true effortlessly, and I hope the words on your personalized bag reminds you of this for years to come. Love and light. Yeah. So I've just written the personalized card to my mortgage broker Emma, who was so amazing in this whole process and helped to make everything seamless. And yeah, so those are just one of the last things I've had to do. A couple of days ago, I've had to call like all the different utility bills and people I pay, like council tax, water, electricity and stuff, but at the new property, letting them know there's a new person in the home now and where I'm currently at as well. Just closing up my accounts from the date I move out of here, so I'm not going to be overcharged or anything like that. But yeah, this process has been so seamless for me, to be honest. I hear lots of people talk about it being stressful. There was a part that was stressful, and it was just when things were lagging and time was just like, okay, let's speed this up. I'm like getting bored of this now. Let's wrap this up. That part was a bit stressful, and then the most stressful part actually was finding a property. If I can skip that part ever again, I will. That was stressful in that I was just not finding good enough properties. I'm like, is this how people are living in this UK? Wow, some of the houses, no, they were too bad, too awful. Anyway, my renovation has started, painting, cleaning and all of that of the property. So in 2 weeks I should start being able to move my stuff in, wrap things up here, and yeah, be fully there in October. Wow, I'll be living in my own house. It's so crazy, so crazy. Now the way my mind works, I'm like, what next? And yeah, what next? I'll share with you in the next video, so keep watching, keep subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and you've learned a thing or two about my property buying journey, but it's not yet over. Next week I'll be sharing everything else I needed to do once my offer was accepted, as well as once I had an exchange date. So there's some financial stuff you need to do, especially if you're self-employed or a business owner. This part's going to be really important, so make sure you wait for next week to check that out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, but for now, enjoy watching my house tour. Bye.
Sat alone inside the eyes I see, I'm wondering how we could breathe. Sat alone inside the eyes I see. Who are you?